Summer 2026 is shaping up to be absolutely stacked. Sequels fans have been begging for, surprise returns nobody thought would happen this soon, and some of the biggest fantasy and action anime on the planet are finally coming back. From chaotic comedy to brutal war stories and jaw-dropping fantasy worlds, this season might genuinely become one of the strongest anime summers we've had in years. So grab your watch list, because these are the top 10 most anticipated returning anime of summer 2026.
神が宿る私の目にはあなた様が英雄になられるところが見えておりますので
Cloverworks is ready to deliver a visual masterpiece once again with the return of the Elusive Samurai Season 2. Following the young Hojo Tokiyuki on his historical high-stakes quest to reclaim his family's honor and survive the treacherous Kamakura shogunate, the series is doubling down on its unique premise. A hero whose greatest superpower is the art of running away and dodging. The upcoming arc promises even higher stakes, deeper historical intrigue, and more of the breathtakingly creative, fluidly cinematic animation that left fans completely stunned during the debut season. The unique blend of vibrant colors, brutal historical reality, and playful agility makes this one of the most visually distinct and thrilling anime running today. Chaos, pure comedy, and an unprecedented amount of romantic devotion are returning to absolutely break the internet with the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You Season 3. Rentaro Ijo's grand quest to give undivided, flawless affection to every single one of his destined soulmates is expanding even further as new, wildly unique girlfriends enter the family. The series continues to be an absolute masterclass in meta-humor, breaking the fourth wall and defying standard harem tropes by making every single relationship genuinely wholesome and deeply committed. Bibiri Animation Studios is ready to deliver another colorful, high-energy, and completely unhinged rom-com spectacle that somehow balances heartwarming romance with pure absurdity.
教え始めて数ヶ月。まずまずってところかな。
Never underestimate a middle-aged man from the countryside, especially when he happens to be an absolute master of the blade. From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, Season 2 brings back Beryl Gardenier, the incredibly humble dojo master who still has absolutely no idea just how ridiculously powerful he actually is. After being dragged to the capital by his former students, Beryl continues to face elite warriors, deadly magical beasts, and top-tier knights, consistently leaving them all in absolute awe of his swordsmanship. The charm of this show lies in Beryl's genuine, down-to-earth personality, contrasted against some of the cleanest, most satisfyingly realistic sword choreography in modern anime, proving you don't need a flashy isekai cheat code to be a total badass. For the dark fantasy enthusiasts who love a deep, intricate narrative, Clevatess Season 2 is ready to deliver another masterclass in tension. The story follows the aftermath of a devastating war, where the colossal, godlike beast Clevatess chooses to spare a human infant, setting off a complex journey of understanding between humanity and monstrous entities. The line between hero and villain remains completely blurred, as hidden agendas, desperate survival tactics, and raw, visceral combat take center stage. The striking, moody aesthetic and mature storytelling are set to provide a stark, incredible contrast to the season's lighter shows, making it a true must-watch for anyone who wants a fantasy anime with real psychological weight and high-stakes consequence.
Clevatess 2
上級職聖騎士戦技スキル
If your ideal fantasy adventure involves a giant, armored skeleton, then Skeleton Knight in Another World Season 2 is exactly what you need. Ark, the accidentally overpowered Skeleton Knight, is continuing his quest alongside the beautiful elf warrior Arion and the adorable spirit fox Panta. This season promises to dive deeper into the dark underbelly of the fantasy world as Ark works to liberate enslaved elves, battle grotesque monsters, and figure out if he can ever regain his human body. Studio Kai and Hornets are returning to bring us that perfect blend of wholesome, cozy travel dynamics mixed with brutal, heavy-hitting sword and shield action, that makes this series such an absolute joy to watch from start to finish.
骸骨貴様ただいま異世界へお出かけ中2
山本慎一郎の童貞問題について議論する。
Get ready to crack open a cold one and jump straight back into the chaotic waters of the Izu Peninsula. Grand Blue Dreaming Season 3 is finally making its splash, bringing back our favorite diving club that does almost everything except actual. If you missed the pure, unadulterated madness of Iori, Kohei, and the rest of the Peekaboo crew stripping down, downing dynamic amounts of alcohol, and getting caught in the most unhinged, high-octane misunderstandings, this sequel is about to feed you well. Studio Zero G is teaming up with Saberworks this time around to deliver that signature, facial expression-heavy visual comedy we love. Expect more wild beach trips, more frantic college exams, even crazier drinking games, and somehow even less clothing than before.
アンブルシーズン3。
俺は何を間違えたんだ。もうやだこんな世界。
Being a background character in a dating sim has never been more stressful or hilarious, which is why Trapped in a Dating Sim Season 2 is such a highly anticipated return. Leon von Bartfort is back with his wonderfully cynical attitude, his overpowered ancient mecha, and his absolute refusal to play by the rules of this twisted, matriarchal dating sim world. After thoroughly breaking the intended storyline in the first season, Leon has to deal with the chaotic fallout of his rising noble status, new romantic complications, and increasingly dangerous political schemes from rival factions. If you love a deeply sarcastic protagonist who actively enjoys trolling arrogant nobles and upending high society, Leon is ready to deliver peak comedy once again.
乙女芸世界はモブに厳しい世界です2。
The final, monumental conflict between the Soul Reapers and the Quincy's is approaching its absolute peak with Bleach, Thousand-Year Blood War, the Calamity. This final part of TD Kubo's legendary saga kicks off with Ewok shattering Squad Zero's devastating Bankai and invading the Reo Greater Palace. The death of the Soul King has sent shockwaves through reality, threatening to collapse the three worlds entirely. As the 13 Court Guard squads forge a desperate alliance with the surviving Quincy's, the battlefield transforms into the ominous War-Welt Castle. With Ichigo's renewed determination to protect his friends, and Ewok wielding the terrifying power of the Almighty, Pierrot is about to deliver historic, peak shonen animation that will leave fans breathless.
Bumpkin!
The monumental journey of the redemption-seeking mage continues in Mushoku Tensei Season 3. Following the emotionally heavy and mature developments of Rudius and Sylphiette's family life, the story is expanding into even wider, more treacherous territory. The fantasy world is shifting on its axis as deeper political conspiracies, ancient powers, and the looming presence of the man-god force Rudius to step up as a true protector, husband, and powerful magic user. Studio Bind is back at the helm, which means we can guarantee the continuation of some of the most cinematic world-building, breathtaking background art, and fluid magic battles in the entire isekai genre. Get ready for an emotional, high-stakes ride that changes the trajectory of his entire life.
祖前線へ戦争の時間だ
The battlefield calls once again, and the Empire's favorite terrifying miniature major is back to wage war against the heavens. Saga of Tanya the Evil Season 2 returns to continue Tanya Degurachev's ruthless, high-altitude, tactical crusade. It has been a massive wait since the movie and the first season, but the gritty, magically infused alternative World War drama is ready to dial up the intensity. Tanya is still locked in a bitter psychological and physical stalemate with Being X, navigating a complex web of global politics and deadly trench warfare. The dark, psychological edge, the explosive aerial dogfights, and Tanya's iconic maniacal grins are set to give us that perfect, dark fantasy action fix we've been craving as she commands her loyal, elite mages into hell. And that's our list of the most anticipated returning anime of summer 2026. Honestly, this season feels unreal. We've got legendary comebacks, fantasy epics, comedy chaos, and some of the biggest franchises in anime all dropping at once. But now comes the important question. Which sequel are you the most hyped for? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because summer 2026 anime coverage is about to go absolutely crazy.